Good old Linux. And there we go. So we are looking at a Linux. It's 5 years old, 2019. And we're running a second opinion. Another company came out and had a whole list of spiff item recommendations, but worded it as if they needed to happen or her unit was just not gonna work. There was all kind of problems they found with it, but yet it's 85 degrees out here today and it's 72 degrees inside the house. She said it feels fine in there. So we're going to double check some things. One of them they said was AC renew. These are slab houses, air handlers up in the attic up there. But told her she needed AC renew. She needed a sure switch to replace her contactor. They have a purpose, maybe a built-in delay if you need it. So I don't know. I have no use for those. If she's got to put a contactor on it if she needs a new contactor. I mean, they don't make those like they used to either, but you know, they just run up the list. So I told her she needed AC renew put in the system, and she needed to replace the evaporator coil and the TXV because that was the problem. Thought AC renew was supposed to kind of sort of fix that problem. Why you would recommend both, I don't know, but I don't trust AC renew because if somebody pays you to put that in and it doesn't fix the problem, you're right back to square one. You need a TXV. Now, because this unit is under warranty still, I have to double check that. I was told it was. But I would just go ahead and do the coil and TXV together as a combination. If it's under warranty, it's going to be about the same cost anyway. Oh, and I also told her she needed a hard start kit in there, which a lot of companies around here offer spiffs when you sell that stuff. So we're going to see what the inrush amps and see what the start on this capacitor is. We're going to test this one first and see what it's reading. I like to get all the cobwebs and stuff out. You know, dirty. They didn't recommend maintenance on it. That's kind of funny. Didn't tell her to, hey, get a maintenance plan with us, make a customer out of her. They just come out here and hit her up with a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll check all that. So we're going to start the capacitor up there and see what it's doing. See what kind of reading we get on that. And then pull this disconnect out. Then after I do that, I've got the thermostat off right now. I'm going to push the contactor in, get my inrush. If the meter will read it. I've tried the last couple of times and it just tells me 0 when I do inrush. So I don't know if there's a problem with that or not, but we'll see. I've got another meter if I need to get one. But anyway, power is off. This is a 40 by 5 capacitor. Check that real quick. And that wire slid right off. It's not even on there tight. That could be part of it. That's your common. No, that's the hermetic on it. Yeah. It slid right off that terminal back there kind of easy. And I'll tighten that down some. That one slid right off. He didn't put them back on tight. So, let's see what our capacitors are telling us. So common to harm is 40, and common to fan is 5.1, so we're good on that. Yeah, they weren't slid all the way down there. There we go. On there tight now. Make sure I put them back in the right spot. But anyway, so let's see if we can get an inrush. on this compressor when I start it. Amps inrush. So let's see how this works. It should give me an inrush. It used to. I don't know. The last couple of times I tried it, it was just 0. It didn't, or OL. It didn't show anything. So let's see what happens when I do it this time. Yep, 76 right there. So inrush on this compressor from a dead stock is 76 amps. So that indicates more of a compressor problem than anything else. Now it could be, once we get it running, check the charge, maybe a restriction in the refrigerant flow, trying to get up there into that TXV. I know I've heard a lot of people say that if you've got a TXV, especially up in an attic, you probably should have a start kit on the system, or not those little super boost things, the actual start relay and capacitor type deal, which we have some of those we keep. But yeah, 76 amps. And what's the RLA on it, or the lock rotor on it? 67. So that's a little bit high from a dead start, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go back in and turn the thermostat on, let this thing run. We'll check the charge and see what our refrigerant's looking like with our TXV issue and our AC renew recommendation. Alright guys, so looking at 132/366. I'm using Measure Quick because it has the diagnostics in it and everything. And by the way, they don't let you take screenshots anymore, but if you actually pull this up on a tablet, you can take your phone and take a picture of that, edit it in, and add it to your attachments. But anyway, superheat's 14, subcooling is 22, and split's 14 degrees. So we're going to try this out. There's a suspicion here, according to Measure Quick, that the system overcharge. So I'm going to pull some refrigerant out of it just out of curiosity and see if somebody didn't overcharge this thing, and then tell her she had a coil problem or a TXV problem. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. Let me pull some refrigerant out and see what happens. Alright guys, so as I suspected, possibly the problem, I removed about 1.5 pounds out of this system. It's a 2.5 ton unit. And I went from a 132 suction and a 3 roughly 70 head pressure with a 14 degree superheat and a 22 subcool down to, now it's 132 and 308 and 14.5 superheat, 8.8 on our subcooling. So I'm gonna go up in the attic and check our split at the unit. My return air, the ducts, the supplies are in the ceiling. The return duct I have my probe connected to is not far from another supply. So I'm thinking I've got a cooler than normal return air coming in than typical. So I'm gonna check it at the unit, see what our split is up there. But yeah, there you go. She needed a new TXV and evaporator coil and AC renew, and appears that it was actually overcharged. So of course if they'd have waited to charge in, all those repairs would have worked, hint hint. But I'm not thinking she really needs anything other than a new contactor, because it is a little smoked and a little pitted. But I think we can rule out the coil, the AC renew, and then we'll see what kind of amp draw I get once this thing's not loaded with refrigerant. Alright guys, we are up in the attic. It does have zoning. I am going to turn off the small zone, which is going to be, or the large zone, which is this one, temporarily, make sure the bypass back there opens like it's supposed to. But Got a 54-degree supply at a 72-degree return over there. She also has a media filter right there. Got an 18-degree split. And if that drops to 53, it's going to give me a 19-degree split, which is not bad for a Linux. So it turns out this thing was just overcharged. No AC renew needed, no sure switch, just a 2-pole contactor, no coil or TXV, which were all on the list. So we're gonna, yeah, just overcharged. So we'll go back out there real quick and see what the pressures are, make sure they're holding where I left them. And we're gonna chalk this one to just being overcharged and see if she wants to replace that contactor. We'll take care of that. Anyway, we'll see you back outside. Alright guys, we're back outside, and you can see right there, this thing's been running for about 20 minutes now. And we're holding those pressures good, 9-degree subcool, 131, 318, got an 18-degree split up there. This thing was just overcharged. If that TXV was gummed up or having a problem, that would, after about 20 minutes, you'd start seeing that creeping back up again. So somebody came out here and told her she needed an AC renew, new evaporator coil with TXV since it was under warranty. So she go ahead and do that. A sure switch, and I might consider, I'm going to see what the amp drag is on the inrush now that we've got some of that refrigerant out of it. Maybe because we got this thing shooting up in the attic and there's a TXV up there, maybe a start kit would be not bad to get this thing moving when it comes on. A relay start kit, not a super boost. Super boost, I use those just to test compressors, see if I can break it free if it's locked up. I don't put them in systems and sell them to make money or get spiffs, that kind of stuff. An actual start relay and capacitor is what would go in here. But it looks right now that checks out okay with all the refrigerant removed. We just need a contactor, I guess. I mean, it's working, but you could see in it earlier. You can see it's a little pitted in there. It's been flashing, arcing a little bit. New contactor is probably gonna be it. I mean, I don't see a need for a coil, a TXV, or AC renew, or a sure switch. That's a gimmick. All right, guys, we are going to replace the contactor on this booger. She approved that, and to be honest, I think that's all she needs. So tuck these little wires over here. Get them out of my way. Those are the low voltage wires. It doesn't matter which side to go back to. Common and Y. So we will get this thing swapped out, and she should be good to go. Power is off. So that's, I mean, I don't know what some people, I don't know who was out here, how old he was, what kind of experience he had. Is he just using that software? And I don't know what their sales goals are there, their spiff goals. I had a splinter go right up under my daggum fingernail, moving that mulch around. And that's going to be a booger for a few days. Got it out, but it went under there pretty deep. But that's kind of how it goes. You gotta be careful. She was smart to get a second opinion and have somebody else come out and look at it. And that's just the nature of the way things are. I don't know if you get guys that are their own performance pay, so they get a percentage of the invoice, or they get spiffs on the stuff that they can sell to boost their paycheck. Get another $20 if I sell this, another $50 if I sell this. that kind of thing, and that's the reason for the sure switch. That's the only reason for it. They could have, it was about 20 between the coil and all that other stuff. A warranty coil replacement, AC renew. Now I don't know if they were still going to do the AC renew. Maybe it was one or the other. But they quoted about $700 for the AC renew to add that. Then you look at if she chose the coil, that would have been $1,500, $1,600. I can get this screw to go in there straight. And then the sure switch, that was like $480 for that thing. And then I think it was right around $400 to put in a start kit. So I mean, she was in that $2,000 to $2,500 range, whichever way she went. And the only thing she really needed was a jarred contactor and some refrigerant taken out of the system. So, it is what it is. She's our customer now. So in about 6 or 7, 8 years roughly, so I'm assuming this unit was registered. It was 2019. I don't know if it was registered or is it just barely still inside the 5-year warranty. I don't know. I didn't call to check that because I'm not getting a coil. I'm gonna charge her for this contactor though. But I could call and double check that. And then yeah, I guess I better. I'll call and double check the warranty on the contactor. But I mean, it is what it is. If it's warranty, it'll just be a couple $100. We're doing it for like 300 and some change. But that's what happens, guys. But she can get, I mean, try to charge somebody all that money for things they don't need. And I do kind of want to sleep at night. I mean, I'd like to make some money, but I would hate to know somebody the next day came behind me on a second opinion, and then that gets around the neighborhood. And she'll talk to her neighbors, and she'll let them know about, hey, this company so-and-so came out and told me I had all these problems. And this company came out and dismissed it all. And it was a whole lot less, but it was what I really needed, and not a bunch of snake oil. And then they don't get any more calls from people out here, and we do. And then down the road, as those systems, if we're still servicing them, start to need to be replaced. Oh, gotta hold that. I don't want to snap it. When the systems start needing to be replaced, we get that work. I put that one on the wrong side. Glad I caught that. So this one goes over here. And pay attention to what you do. And damn, see what I'm talking about? Cheap ass contactor. Let me get another one and get it swapped out. But anyway. Yeah, the corner of the damn thing, if you don't hold it, and I should have been holding it, snaps right off. So anyway, we're gonna get the contactor replaced, get this thing back on. She's good to go. All we need to do is recover some refrigerant out of it. She don't need a start kit. She don't need the AC renew, and she definitely don't need a new evaporator coil. Just overcharged, basically. Alright guys, so I got the other capacitor contactor in. Those cheap things, corners of them snap off, whatever. But anyway, still got that high amp draw when it starts. So I am going to probably call Lennox and see if there's a start kit that they have available for their equipment, or we'll just put in a universal start kit, not a super boost, the actual start relay and capacitor. I'll recommend that to her. I do not have one of those on my truck, so I'll have to come back and do that. But anyway, got the contactor swapped out, unit's running. It is what it is. So anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. I'm gonna go get another contactor real quick, get that swapped out. I'm not gonna make you suffer through watching all that again. But anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.